All right, so we got this realistic TRC 465 here today, and this is one that I unlocked the clarifier on in a previous video. You can watch that video if you want. You can't really see much from up here, but here's the 8-volt constant power wire for the clarifier potentiometer, and then there's a couple components you're lifting down here to make it happen. But yeah, once it's unlocked, I've said in the past that I use the lower and upper transmit offset pots to adjust for linearity, not for frequency. I'm more concerned about linearity here. And then here's our AM transmit offset, and then lower, upper, and AM receive offsets. But so what I'll do is I'll go through and adjust these for linearity with a two-tone test on sideband first and get the best linearity I can get, and then I'll use the receive offsets to get back on frequency. So I'll kind of show you that today. So right now our clarifier is centered there. We'll move it this way, move it that way, try to get it back as close to center as we can here. Hopefully that's about where it was at. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just key it up with a single tone. We'll do AM first, see how close I got it back to center. So we're keyed up. We'll see where we're sitting at. We got close. See if we can adjust it. There we go. That's pretty close there. You can see where it's sitting at. I just barely touched it. And let's look at, we'll use a single tone. We'll look at, see where lower is at. So we'll key up. We'll watch lower here. Yeah, pretty close. It's not exactly, since I just moved it, it's not exactly where it was when I aligned it. And then upper, keyed up there. And let's see how much we can move it. 13 off there, 13 hertz off. Yeah, I mean, it's barely moved over. Yeah, you can see it's still pretty centered. Anyway, so we're on frequency, and I just wanted to show this basically what I'm doing. So now we'll go over here. Let me set this up for a two-tone test. Now that we've seen frequency, now we'll just watch. Let's go to lower first. Let's look at her on a scope. We'll key her up. All right, there we go. She's keyed up. There's our linearity there. And that's achieved by adjusting the lower offset transmit pot to get that linearity, primarily once the clarifier is unlocked. And then we'll do upper. Let's key her up again. Watch her up there. And there's our upper. Pretty nice linearity. Putting about 5 watts average out. That's not terrible. So yeah, after I've adjusted these for linearity, I'll go back through with a single tone and I'll adjust the receive offsets for my to get back on frequency. And it works very well doing it like that. There's no downside to doing that. Usually if you look at a clarifier procedure, unlock procedure on the internet, they'll tell you after it's done to just adjust your transmit offset pots again to get on frequency. And yeah, you can do that. But as far as sideband goes, you'll blow your linearity right out of the water. So that's why I'll make sure that these two are adjusted for linearity, and then I'll use the receives to get back on frequency. There literally just is no downside to it. Your receive sensitivity doesn't change at all, as far as if it's aligned decent. And yeah, I mean, it works great. It's stable. But yeah, so just a note, for those that are doing unlocks, if you decide to unlock the clarifier on your radio, try that out. See how it works for you. It works great for me. I do it on every single clarifier unlock I do. There isn't any downside to doing that. So, I mean, we could look at receive sensitivity if you wanted to. Let's see. Let's pull it out of here and we'll stick it in the 8920 here. And this is not set up at all. We'll just go to lower sideband linearity. Hold on. Let me put it in a we'll hook it up to the sine adder. This was not prepared at all. Let's see. All right. So we're, and why it sounds so strange is because it's not set up. We're generating an FM signal. There we go. It sounds a little more normal. All right, so let's see. Yeah, that's 1 microvolt, which is the standard we're testing at. Let's move this a little bit and get her right on frequency. There we go. So we're about, at 1 microvolt, we're about 19 dB of synad, and you see how much I had to move it, which was basically nothing. She's just, you know, center slot's 12 o'clock still. I mean, there's just literally just no downside to realigning the radio that way after you've unlocked a clarifier. It works fabulous. Anything else we want to see? I mean, we can look at a spectrum at it. Let's see. Now that we're hooked directly up to that, let's try that. Why not? We'll do it here. We'll set this up for, let's see. Let's go to, well, let's do it at 40 dB. We're not trying to make an accurate measurement. We're just looking at it. 30 kilohertz wide. There we go. All right, let's see what she looks like with a two-tone test. We still have a two-tone test generating. We'll key it up. So there we go. So she's pretty clean. So right here is our, so this is 30 kilohertz wide here. And you can see our sideband signal. And then right here starts the intermodulation distortion. And we can see how far down that is. Hold on, I'll tell you what, let's just do it like this. Let's look at the noise floor is first. So it's at minus 35 dB. And our peak is at 32 dB. So geez, let's think math-wise. That's about 60 dB down from, or 60 dB above the noise floor. So we can go and look. And no, we can't look at it like that. How about we do it? Yeah, let's roll it down this way and see where our, right about there. So yeah, 30 dB down. That's where our intermodulation distortion starts. So we're back there on frequency again. Yeah, so very well aligned transceiver with 30 dB down for intermodulation distortion. That's great. It's very clean. So yeah, there's just absolutely no downside of doing it like that. But I thought I'd show that. Just and this whole radio's been recapped and gone through and all that over the time that I've had it. These are great little radios. If you've never played with one, I mean, they're just fantastic little sidebanders. They really are. I mean, you don't have to unlock the clarifier on these radios for them to be just great sideband radios. I mean, they're very stable with a lot of clarifiers as it is. But if you choose to unlock it and you have the test equipment to do it, that's what I would do. is align these two for linearity, and then go through and use your receive offsets to get yourself actually on frequency. You see there's just no downside. Intermodulation distortion is low. It's on frequency. It's stable. And receive sensitivity still is great. 19 dB at 1 microvolts, nothing to snooze at. All right, so yeah, so that's kind of just a follow-up to unlocking it. That's kind of what I go through with any unlock procedure after the fact, is to go back through and primarily look at that sideband linearity, because, what's the point of unlocking the clarifier if you're just going to end up distorted on air on sideband? It seems kind of pointless. So, all right, 73s, everybody.